Good morning, children. Let's continue with our lesson number 2, environmental pollution, and this is the second video. Let's continue today with air pollution. In the last video, we studied about water pollution and which are the factors responsible for water pollution and what could be done so that water pollution can be reduced. You know, and what are the different responsibilities or duties the government should take care of, should implement the laws so that water pollution is stopped or is minimized. Today we are going to start with our air pollution. Just like water, air pollution has become a major concern of the world. Industries have developed in every city and in most of the villages. The smoke and gases emitted by the industries mix with air and cause air pollution. See, we saw that industries are causing water pollution as well. The dirt or the garbage which is emitted from the industries, it is dumped into the rivers and streams, which has polluted the rivers to such an extent that some rivers have completely turned into gutter lines or are having bad smell and have got dirt in them as good as gutters. Now in here also we see that air pollution is also caused by one of the major resource, that is industries. The gases emitted from the industries, they get mixed with the air and they cause air pollution. The vehicles running on fossil fuels like petrol and diesel. Today, the use of mineral oil has increased tremendously. That means a large number or on a large scale, mineral oil is used. We know that mineral oil is the basic source of petroleum, kerosene, diesel, etc., LPG gas, etc. So the use of that has increased tremendously. That means the use has increased very much. The vehicles running on fossil fuels like petrol and diesel emit smoke and harmful gases like hydrocarbons, nitrogen oxides, carbon monoxide, and carbon dioxide, which merge with the air, and their proportion in air has increased. So, due to tremendous or large scale use of mineral oil, the vehicles which are running on fossil fuels, they emit large number of gases into the air, which again has increased the air pollution. The proportion of CO2 has increased due to the cutting of trees, which has led to the intense problem of global warming. So we all know that carbon dioxide, it is the gas which is absorbed by the trees, and in return the trees, they exhale oxygen, which is good for human survival. Okay, but due to large number of cutting off trees or deforestation on a large scale, the problem has arisen of CO2 increasing in the atmosphere, and due to which we are facing global warming. We have already studied the chapter about global warming. Deforestation is another reason behind the increase in air pollution. Dust particles float in the air due to the depletion of the forest cover and the trees. Because there is no forest cover, the dust particles which are emitted from the industries, or we can see on the road also, there is a lot of dust. When any vehicle passes, we can see that the dust is spread into the air. And if there is no tree nearby that road, or if the continuing of this deforestation is there, continuous deforestation is there, or the deforestation increases, this kind of problem will go on increasing. Air pollution causes various diseases such as asthma, breathing problems, lung infection, etc. So, air pollution should be kept under check. Dust particles floating in the air lead to diseases like cold, cough, and allergy. There have been instances when animals died due to suffocation caused by excess of pollution. So, when the pollution has exceeded to a certain level, in past we have seen animals, they have died due to suffocation. The temperature of the atmosphere has increased due to pollution. At times, these poisonous gases, they mix with raindrops and cause acid rain, which is very harmful for animals and vegetation. As we have seen in the first video, if the dirty water is mixed with dirty water emitted from the industries, it is mixed with the rivers and streams. And if that river water is used for irrigation purpose in the growing of vegetables or vegetation, what will happen? We will get crops which are raised with the help of dirty or polluted water, and we have seen that how those crops can be harmful to us if we consume such food items which are grown with this dirty water. They are going to be harmful for us. Okay, in the same way, the air pollution, because of the air pollution also, the vegetation gets acid rain, which is again not very good for us. To prevent air pollution, it is necessary to make certain rules for the industries and implement them strictly. Equipments that can filter smoke and harmful gases should be developed and installed. Industries that do not follow the norms should be punished strictly by a heavy fine or should be shut down. So there should be a industrial check, or the filter should be there in the smoke so that the harmful gases, they are not completely emitted in the air directly. First of all, they will be filtered, and only the remaining amount or some amount of that filtered gas will be released in the air. And industries, those who do not follow such norms, should be strictly punished by a heavy fine, or they should be forced to shut down. Environment awareness campaigns should be organized so that people become aware that how important it is to save our environment. One should use petrol and diesel in a judicious manner. Judicious manner means sparingly, very less. Use of pollution-free fuel like CNG and LPG will help to a great extent. Strict implementation of PUC in vehicles should be implemented. Okay, so all these conditions should be followed. PUC is the certificate given to the vehicles. They have to undergo certain test which shows them that they are pollution-free vehicles. PUC certificate is the certificate which says that that particular vehicle is PUC check. That means pollution under control. वो वाले vehicle से ज़्यादा pollution नहीं हो रहा. So such kind of certificate should be forcibly implemented for everybody. Next is land pollution. Land pollution is not something that is easily visible, but in this developing world, land pollution has become evident on a large scale. Growing industries and polluted water from the drains flow on the ground and slowly pollute the land. This we have seen in the river pollution, how the land gets polluted because of the garbage or the drain from the industries' waste materials, which are dumped on the ground. The people who run industries and factories always try to acquire more and more land than what they require. According to them, they acquire more land for the further development. When industries occupy the agricultural land, it surely pollutes it as the industries dump solid waste on the land. So whichever solid waste is there from the industries, that is dumped on the land, and that is the land which once may be fertile, but these industries or the factory owners, because they are very rich, they buy that land from the farmers on a very high price, and then they pollute that land. What will happen? The once fertile land will turn into infertile or barren land. So, when industries occupy the agricultural land, it surely pollutes it, and the industries dump solid waste on the land. Nowadays, polythene or plastic is used on a very large scale. Plastic is a non-degradable substance and pollutes the land. The urban waste like plastic, scrap, and chemicals dumped on land gets dispersed over farm lands by wind and thus pollutes the land. Farmers use chemical fertilizers extensively to increase production, and it also plays a major role in polluting the land and water. So because of the polythenes we see everywhere, here and there, we can see polythene bags are lying around everywhere. Sometimes we see animals also consuming that, eating that plastic polythene. But you know how harmful it is, not only for us, but for the animals as well. It's a non-degradable substance, that means it will not decay. वो खत्म नहीं हो जाएगा, सड़ेगा नहीं. As we have seen vegetables, वो सड़ जाते हैं और बाद में if we sow them in the soil, वो मिट्टी में ही mix हो जाते हैं. But it is not the case with polythene. It's a non-degradable substance and it will pollute the land. वो बरसों के बरसों plastic remains the same. उसके ऊपर पानी डालो, मिट्टी डालो, कुछ भी डालो, it will remain the same. Okay. The urban waste like plastic, scrap and chemicals dumped on land gets dispersed over farm by wind and thus pollutes the land. So all this plastic, scrap, chemicals which are dumped from the industries, with the help of wind, they move from one place to another. Plastics तो हम देखते ही रास्तों पे यहाँ से वहाँ उड़ती जाती हैं, isn't it? With the help of wind. And this kind of waste material, when it is dumped on the farmlands, what will happen? It will pollute the land. Also, we have seen farmers, they use chemical fertilizers on a very large scale because it is very cheap compared to natural fertilizers. So they use these fertilizers extensively to increase the production, and it also plays a major role in polluting the land and water further. So because of that, the land goes on polluting further. Understood? Polluted water from industries and drainage is used in the irrigation of fertile land. Now this polluted water, as we have seen in the first video, river pollution, or sorry, water pollution, the polluted river water, if it is used for irrigation in the fertile land, what will happen? The land also will be polluted. The grains or the vegetables which are cultivated on such land also will get polluted. It results into tuberculosis and bone diseases. Exhausted or shrinking fertile land leads to the risk of scarcity of crops. So such kind of fertile land, if it is exhausted, अब वो खत्म हो रही है, what will happen? The number of crops which were growing on that particular land will go on decreasing. Plastic solid waste material from the industries and polluted water destroy microorganisms which make the land fertile. So plastics, solid waste, etc. which are emitted from the industries. इंडस्ट्रीज जो अपना प्रोडक्ट बनाती हैं उसके बाद जो कचरा होता है वो लैंड में डंप कर देती हैं, फर्टाइल लैंड में. तो क्या होगा? वो लैंड की फर्टिलिटी खत्म हो जाती है एंड नो मोर क्रॉप्स कैन बी ग्रोन ऑन सच लैंड. Eventually land becomes barren due to the destruction of microorganisms. उसके अंदर जो microorganisms होते हैं जो हेल्प करते हैं क्रॉप्स को ग्रो होने में, वो भी खत्म हो जाते हैं. Land pollution can be controlled. How can we control the land pollution? We should use plastic and necessary chemicals judiciously. Again, everywhere they are using the word judiciously. That means हमको सोच समझ के use करना चाहिए. There are many places, not only in foreign countries, in India as well, where they have banned use of plastic. Mostly many of the tourist places, they have banned the use of plastic so that whichever tourists they come, whatever they buy, they are given paper bags so that the environment is not polluted further. So, as these things are used at tourist places, shouldn't we use them in our cities as well? सिर्फ टूरिस्ट प्लेसेस को ही हमको अच्छा रखना है, ब्यूटीफुल रखना है? Shouldn't we keep our city, our town premises also beautiful, isn't it? So we should use plastic bags judiciously. Today many people have developed this kind of knowledge that they take bags from their home only when they are going for shopping. अगर ऐसा होता है, अगर हर कोई, everyone, every individual if does like that, what will happen? Plastic ka use will completely stop and it is going to be very helpful for our environment. No industry should be set up on a arable land. Whichever land which is fertile, उसके ऊपर तो industries को allow ही नहीं होना चाहिए. We should conserve environment. Use of organic and traditional manure instead of chemical fertilizers is advisable. So organic manure or natural fertilizers are advisable instead of more use of chemical fertilizers. Pesticides should be used in minimum possible proportions. जितने भी हम जंतुनाशक कीड़े नाशक दवाइयां डालेंगे विच इज अगेन अ केमिकल, अगर हम जितने जंतुनाशक डालते हैं क्रॉप्स में उसकी जो वी कैन से मैक्सिमम अमाउंट जो लैंड पे गिरता है फार्म्स पे, दैट आल्सो कॉजेस a lot of land pollution. The plastic and solid waste should be recycled. Many things we have seen are made of recycled plastic or recycled paper. That is very, very good. We should use such items, more and more recycled items, so that we can help in the sustaining the environment. Use of non-conventional sources of energy and green technology should be introduced. Non-conventional sources of energy, we have already studied in our 7th standard that there are different sources of energy which are natural sources, you know. So use of non-conventional sources of energy, that means energies which are given to us by the nature free of cost, like solar energy, hydroelectricity, hydroenergy, or wind energy. Such energies should be used on a large scale instead of conventional sources which are obtained from the mineral oil. Drip irrigation saves water and prevents land degradation. So drip irrigation should be used on a large scale. In that, water also is used in a very less proportion, and at the same time the enough amount of water is provided to the crops as well, which helps in cultivation further. Okay, so understood the chapter till now? Thank you, children. Stay home, stay safe.